Hello and welcome to episode 8. As you probably noticed, I've got the Lincoln Memorial behind me now. I'm in Washington DC at the moment. It's a little bit more wetter here than what it was in North Carolina, but hey ho. Anyway, in episode 8 I'm going to be putting on the bottom plank and the chines. So back to the garage in the UK. Yeah, I'd just like to say how well the base has fit. I'm really pleased. It's just like a bit of a dry fit at the minute. I'll put the 4 screws in at the back, and if you can see here, I've used like a red crayon, and this is where I want to plane off just to take it back. It peters off there. We're good here. Good here. Might just bevel that, and then it comes round here back to there. So I'm really pleased with that. So I'm going to take it off, get it planed up, refit it again and get the rest of the screws in, and take it off again, and then mix some glue up and get it fitted. Right, I've mixed some epoxy up. So I'm going to wet out where the joints are, on the frames, on the transom to the bout. Just place some on, and then I can spread it out, and then I'll do all of these, and then I can just put this to one side, and then I can wet out the frames, transom and bout. And then we can put this bottom panel on. I've opted for a longer curing resin, which I think is better. Well, it's better for me personally. It just gives you more time to work the material. A bit more on. Right, so I'll start and do the frames, bow, transom now. Wet this out ready to place the bottom panel on. So that's everything wetted out on the boat, and then there is the base. So we can get that chucked on next and get it screwed down. I'm not going to totally tighten these up, keep them slack at the minute so we can get the rest of the screws in. So I've just added a little bit of filler to the glue because I want this to totally seal around there. We need it to be nice and strong. as this is where the towing eye is going to go. I've put some slightly longer screws each side, and then where the hole is I put a smaller screw than what I've standardly been putting, because I don't want to enter into the hole here. Where the towing eye goes. I want this front to be really strong. And just get this last one in, and then get the rest of the screws in onto the frame. Right, we've got the chine plank on now. If you notice here, I did shape this back a little bit so I could sit it on top of the top plank just while I got a screw into there, into the centre, and then I could get another screw onto the end here to pull it down, because it's a bit of a handful. You'd struggle to get clamps on, and then there's a screw on there as well. So I can go inside and mark it up. I'm going to use a black marker, a fine black marker, because there's a few pencil marks on the other side of that chine plank, and I don't want to get it confusing. And if also I've marked out where the skegs go, and the holes and the skeg sections have been cut out as well. So I'm going to go underneath and mark out the chine. Right, it is a little bit dark under here. So I've got my fine black marker there. Go to the back here. You can also see there where that spacer piece is. I'll do another clip on that next, I think. Show you how that's gone. Right, I'll get to the front and I'll get the front done. So there's the spacer piece. So when this plank's taken more shape, this will drop down here and it'll fit a lot better. If we just look at the other side. There, that's solid that is now. And that will sort that issue out with the discrepancy. It's brought that plank pretty much where it should be now. So, look here, I've got quite a good fit. It's pretty good. I've just penciled in a few little bits, some minor areas I just want to plane off, just make it fit a little bit better. It's quite good. Bit annoyed with myself about the bow though, because I couldn't get the marker pen in there because the seat was in the way. So I kind of guessed that bit, but I've got this to trim off. I might be able to shunt it over a little bit. We've got a good fit that side, but that can be filled anyway. Like I say, there's going to be a 50mm each side of fiberglass tape, so that'll be fine. So take it off once more, final little trimming with a plane, and try it again. I've fitted it back on because there's some final planing and trimming, so I've got a good fit now. Fits all good all the way around. I've drilled the rest of the holes in that goes into the frame all the way down, and I've drilled some holes here to pinch up the planks together, which will be a new, I've never done it before. So I've got some copper wire and I've got some tie wraps, so I'm going to try both of them and just find out which one's the best really. Give those a go, and then I'm going to take this back off. Obviously before I do that, that's when I glue it up, but I'm going to take this back off, and then this is going to be the template for the other side. So when I mark this out on the other sheet, I will cut it on the bandsaw, but I'm going to do it on the outside of the line, because obviously I don't expect that one to be exactly the same as this one. So I'm just going to mark it out, make it slightly bigger, and then trim it up with a plane afterwards. Okay, so let's get this one off. So it's now time to make up another mix so we can glue the chines on. Put that over there out of the way. Right, just wet out these areas where the frames are. Spread that out in a second. Right, get the other side done, and then look at putting this chine on this side. So let's get that side wetted out. Right, so with the remaining glue that I've got left, I want to put some West Systems 410 in, some Markerlite, and make a consistency like peanut butter. Just need a bit of filler. That's it. So we can apply that now on the transom, and at the front, at the bottom of the rails where the seat is. I just want to seal that in the best I can. I'll just put the lid on that, put that out of the way. Right, just going to apply a bit of this, do a bit of filling. Right, okay, I'll just pour a little bit more in. Right, so I've just put a little bit more in now, so I'm just going to put like a bit of a picture frame around this. Just trowel it on. Now for the other side, and then we'll look at getting the transom done. Right. Okay, get the other side done. Fill this side. I think sometimes it's not a bad thing if you make a mistake on YouTube. It probably makes it a little bit more interesting for people to watch how you get around a problem or an issue. And nobody's perfect. Right, I will now look at getting the planks on. Right, okay, we've got this, everything's wetted out now. I've got the filler on at the front where the seat runners are, and I've got it on, as you know, on the transom at the back now. So we can start fitting these, offer them up and screw them on. I won't over tighten these on the centre one because I want the chine to take a natural shape onto the frames. These further ones at the end now, I can tighten them up a little bit more. I think I might get the drill, be a bit quicker. So that's that plank fitted on, chine plank. We'll get the other side put on. Then we'll start looking at either putting some copper wires into these or some tie wraps yet. I'm going to try them both and see which I think is the best, and then put some filler in between. Okay, so I've tried two ways of putting the planks together. I've tried these small tie wraps. I'm not going to demonstrate them because I did try a few and they're not very good. Basically, they're not very strong. So the good traditional way is the copper one. So I've got some offcuts here in a box full of electrical bits. This is what you would call UK earthing cable, hence it's yellow and green. So that's what says it's an earthing cable. And it had 7 strands in. So I've just been cutting those into these pieces and just making like a bit of a staple. And I just push it up from underneath and then twist them round, and it really, I mean, obviously people who've built boats before know that they work fine, but we have to remember that this is a first build for me, and it's more for probably amateurs or anybody that's thinking of building a boat. So it's all a bit new territory for me. So all I've done, a pair of pliers like that, and I just push them round. and then I'll just go underneath and push them through and then twist them up with the pliers, which I will show you now. Okay, so I'll just go over and cross these over like that. Simply just get your pair of pliers and just twist. And these work brilliantly. And all the boat builders out there that's built many boats saying, yep, we know. Yeah. Right, a few more pieces of copper to cut out and put in, and then we can get all that done, and then I'll mix some more glue up and put it between the joints so it sets it, and then we can cut these out then and then look at taping it up. Okay, so now we've got all the copper wires in, we've pinched everything up, it's time to put some filler between the joints. And when they set, then we take the coppers out then, the copper wire. It goes in quite easy. Obviously I just need to put a good strip in between the wires because this should be strong enough to hold it. And I'll take the wires out. Okay, on to the next one. So, get down to the bottom here now, fill this in. As you can probably see here, I'll put a spacer piece in. That's to bring this plank up, although this is now pretty much the angle of where it should have been. I've just got to make that plank up, but it'll be alright. It's all been sanded and taped up. Because inside it will be taped up as well, filled with epoxy. It'll all be coated in epoxy and taped. I think what I'll do is when I come to filling these up, I'll mix up this epoxy a lot thicker, really thick, and I can put that in where there's a wider gap. That should be fine. Right, I'll leave that all to set now. These like pieces in between the wire, let them all set, and then I can just plane this up and round it and sand it, ready for the tape. It's all coming together lovely. I'm really pleased. Right, I'll start and look at taking the coppers out. Now all the glue, well, glue and filler have set. I'll start getting these out. I think the best way is probably to cut them actually, as opposed to trying to straighten them out and push them through. Be quicker. Yep, I think it'll be quicker. Okay. Right, that's about a quarter of them out. I'll carry on and get the rest done. Well, that's all the copper wires out now, and the filler in between has now kept the shape. It's kept the planks all nice and pinched up and kept them into place. So the plan is now I'm going to give these a bit of a plane up, put a radius on them, and then go over and completely sand it up, and then it's ready for offering the tape up and the glue, and get these seams taped up. So that'll be the next job, planing and sanding.
With more expert patrols in more places, we'll get you back on the road in no time. Join the UK's best breakdown service from £5.49 a month. Visit
No, just that one that you want. I'm not sure where it goes from there.
Hello and thank you for watching episode 8. At the moment I'm in Derby, which is a city just up from me, and this is a converted church. It's actually a climbing centre. I'm a bit more tickety-boo at the moment. I'm over that cold. That's 2 I've had in about 3-4 months. Anyway, I'm over that now, so I'm a bit more perky. Anyway, in episode 9 we'll be looking at planing some of the seams and sanding and smoothing them down, putting a radius on them and taping it up with the fiberglass. So, see you next time in episode 9. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye now.